There's a lot of weird information out there about anxiety, so let's sort through all of that and set the record straight together. My name is Dr. Parke. I'm a psychologist for youth, and here at Through the Waters, we nurture youth mental health. We're living in an age of history that's being called the age of anxiety. So it's no wonder that a lot of people are experiencing anxiety and talking about anxiety. However, there's a lot of myths and misunderstandings that commonly come up as well. So let's talk through 6 of those myths in order to kind of dismantle them. The first myth is that you are alone in experiencing anxiety. This is totally not true. Please know that you are not alone. You might be feeling alone and isolated for sure, and I'm not denying that. And if that's the case, my heart really does go out to you. Let me also assure you that you're not the only one who's experiencing what you're experiencing. In a survey that UNICEF conducted in 2021, they asked young people in 21 different countries about their level of anxiety. For people between the ages of 15 and 24, about 1/3 of them said that they feel anxious, nervous, or worried often. That's 1 out of 3. So if you're in a room of people in that age range, 1/3 of you in the room feel anxious, nervous, or worried often. A second myth about anxiety is that it's your fault. It's totally not your fault. Anxiety can be created by a mix of factors that are biological, psychological, social, cultural, and spiritual. So what I say to people who are struggling with anxiety is this: anxiety is not your fault, and also it is within your power to change. And that's good news, actually. Okay, so a third myth about anxiety is that anxiety is an individual experience that is within an individual person. Now, this one is tricky because it's partially true in the sense that we as individual people can experience the overwhelming waves of anxiety inside of us, but anxiety is actually systemic in terms of what causes it. Now, there are dynamics that happen within relationships, families, schools, society, countries, and so on that give rise to anxiety. The fourth myth is that experiences of anxiety happen out of the blue, like they come from nowhere or they're happening for no reason. My view about this is that experiences of anxiety do happen for a reason. It's just that sometimes we don't know what the reason is, and maybe we will never know the reason. This relates to myth number 5, which is that we have to identify the root cause of anxiety in order to heal from it. Now, while it is possible and validating and ideal to identify factors that contribute to your anxiety, like the biological, psychological, social, cultural, and spiritual dimensions that I mentioned earlier, it's not 100% necessary to know the exact causes of your anxiety in order to heal from it. I would actually argue that an intense need to know the exact cause of your anxiety is actually an anxious thinking process in and of itself, whereas developing a greater capacity to tolerate uncertainty is a way of healing from anxiety. There are many evidence-based ways of healing from anxiety that don't require knowing the exact cause. Maybe a metaphorical example will be helpful here. If you have a headache, you can try different things that you know can be helpful for headaches, like lying down and resting, drinking some water, relaxing stress and tension in your body, and so on. As you try those different things, your headache can go away, even if you don't know exactly what caused it in the first place. You're trying some effective approaches, even if you never identify the root cause. Now, you might discover the root cause, and that would be great, but even if you don't, you can still heal from your headache. The same logic is true for anxiety, even though, of course, anxiety is so much more terrifying, horrifying, and debilitating in our lives compared to a headache. So this leads me to our 6th and final myth about anxiety for today's video. The myth is this: in order to heal from anxiety, people need to open up to someone, talk it out, or cope better. Now, all of those can be helpful for people. So I'm not taking anything away from those approaches, but they're actually pretty surface level and short term compared to what is available in terms of deeper healing. The most effective ingredient in the research about healing from anxiety is called exposure, which involves gradually facing your fears over time in a structured way. When I saw the disconnect between how people are trying to help their anxiety versus what is available and effective for deeper long-term healing, that was a major inspiration for me to create Peace to the People, which is my online program for teens, college students, and their parents about overcoming anxiety. That's a 4-step program, and the entire 4th step is teaching you how to practice exposure. You can find the link to sign up for Peace to the People in the description below. So in this video, we've covered 6 myths about anxiety that came to mind for me, but maybe there's another myth that you've learned to dismantle for yourself. If so, let us know in the comments below so that we can be learning from each other. As always, if you found this video valuable, don't forget to like and subscribe so you can continue to benefit from this mental health education over time. When you like and subscribe, that also helps other people who could benefit from this mental health education be able to find it too.